Oh, so have you ever been gold prospecting in a tomato garden? I don't think so, but that's what we're going to do today. Hold on. Is this a new game changer for the prospecting industry, for you, the prospector? I think it is. I'll explain it in just a minute. Oh, I've got a ton of gold in here, but I've got a ton of black sands. How do I separate out the two easily without a whole bunch of panning? Hold on, I'll tell you. Hey guys, Doc. Today I'm getting ready to head out on a trip, but I have got a bucket of super concentrates from several different projects, testing runs. I know there's a ton of gold in it. I think there's probably over 2 ounces of gold, but I've got to separate out that gold from the black sands. There's a lot of black sands. So how do I do that? Well, we use the Multi Sluice. Now the Multi Sluice comes with 2 mats. The number 1 mat is an aggressive mat, and it's designed for taking raw concentrates or pay dirt and concentrating it down just like a normal sluice in your mine. The second mat is made of all wave mat or stripper mat, and it's designed not to have a high capture rate. It's not designed to be aggressive. That kind of weirds people out sometimes. The whole point of this is if you understand hydraulic equivalence, which I'll talk about in a minute, if you understand hydraulic equivalence, we have to create an environment where gold is just about to escape and barely holds on. That's why it's so difficult when you have a lot of black sand and you have a lot of fine gold. Man, it's hard to separate those two out. But that's due to hydraulic equivalence, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, Jess is over at the warehouse. She's finishing up. She does a lot of administration, a lot of order work. She does all kinds of stuff for me over at the warehouse. She's coming over today. She actually helps me out a lot in our gardens because we have a huge garden back here this year. And while this thing is running, after she gets done running it, I may have her go in here and clean up some of our tomato gardens, just clean up some fungus and do a big harvest. We're pulling a ton of tomatoes out of here. But let's start off by talking about this. This is a game changer. Now, years ago, I said, man, why can't they make a deep cycle lithium battery for prospecting? Of course, they did come out with them. They were like $1,000 if you wanted to get a deep cycle lithium battery. Nowadays, that has changed. And let me explain. This battery, believe it or not, this is a battery. This is a 12-volt battery. This is a battery that has 10 amp hours. What does amp hours mean? In a rough sense, and this is never perfect, if your pump draws 3 amps and you have 10 amp hours, you should be able to get close to 2 to 3 hours of runtime out of this battery. I'm going to test that today. But this little thing, this battery, I mean, it's nothing. It's so you can throw it in a backpack. $79. I'll put a link to this in the description below. I'll link to a page where I'll put up this video, and I'll link to this battery. I'll link to the Multi Sluice. I'll link to just about everything I'm showing today. But man, what a change. Now, I also went online. Now, I get this on Amazon. They have a 20 amp hour, a 30 amp hour, and a 50 amp hour. Now, the 50 amp hour is a big battery, but these things, and I think the heaviest battery they have, which is the 50 amp hour, is still only like 10 pounds. Man, I can't tell you how many times we've lugged around in years past these big old car batteries that weigh 50, 60, 70 pounds, killing ourselves. This thing really has changed the industry. So again, I'll link to it in the description below, but I'll also talk to you about this setup and what we're doing today. So one of my problems is that Jess is a gem freak. So she starts to see gems and she weirds out. She loves gems. So I went ahead and screened it before she got here because I did find a cool piece of fluoride in there. I guess I'll show it to her. But dude, she loves gems. But today we're concentrated on the gold. So today I have got the Multi Sluice set up. Now again, the Multi Sluice comes with 2 mats. It comes with an aggressive mat and then it comes with a stripper mat. And our goal is to create an environment where nothing will stay in here and then drop it down just a little bit. And what happens? What will stay when you do that? The heaviest thing, the gold. Now the Multi Sluice comes with everything you see here. It doesn't come with a camera, of course. It comes with the sluice, the little header box. The header box just snaps on here. It comes with the legs. It comes with 2 mats. The pump system is sold separately, by the way. because a lot of people already have an 1100 GPH pump, but our pump system's pretty cool because you get the 1100 GPH bilge pump, plus you get extra long heavy duty wires, and you get battery clips, and you get the hose. So now I will tell you, the first thing I do, if you're going to run this consistently like this kind of setup where the pump is right near this, I always cut off 1 foot of hose. If you have extra hose, cut it off. It always makes your pump perform better. So this, gone. Ooh. Okay, next let me show you the 2 different mats. I have got mat number 2, which is the stripper mat inside the sluice. And basically that has 1 UR mat up here, and then it goes all washer mat. That's the stripping mat. Now this is the number 1 aggressive mat. UR mat at the top, and then we go talon, razorback, downdraft, razorback, downdraft. This is the more aggressive mat. So if you wanted to take a 5-gallon bucket of concentrates and concentrate that down to about 2 or 3 cups, this is the mat you would use. Then the next thing you do is you reclassify that, and then you run it through the stripper mat, and that'll strip it down to just a few tablespoons. The whole point is reduction, reduction, reduction. The washer mat, again, is a way that you can create the impossible stay zone, really ripping, and really get rid of all that black sand, so you're only left with a couple teaspoons to pan out in the end. Makes it really simple. What I've got in here is I have got super concentrates, and I can actually physically see gold in here. That's how much gold is in this crap. I mean, I can see that gold right there, right there. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of 100 and 200 mesh gold in here. So we're just going to strip it out, and then we're going to test how long this battery actually lasts. I think that's what I told you. That's the first thing she did.
Fluorite. Don't nick the fluorite.
She went straight to the gems. I knew it as soon as she got here. I don't care about the gold. I want to get the gems.
Pretty shinies.
So we got a little bit of amethyst. Let me have that one piece.
That's a really nice amethyst. That's a fluorite, for sure. It's got that purple inclusion.
But you can wet it.
God, it's beautiful.
It is pretty. That'd make a real nice stone cut.
Here's a good chunk of amethyst.
That's actually...
It's got a bit of citrine in it.
Yeah, it's got citrine with a little amethyst fade in it. That's kind of cool.
There was a quartz.
Lots of pyrite. And then there's quartz in here too.
Quartz.
So lots of pyrite chunks. So today she finished up over at the warehouse. We've got to attack this tomato garden, but I also need to get these concentrates cleaned up because I think there's probably about 2 ounces of gold I need to get out of this stuff. So she's going to run that. I got to go inside and do a couple things. Plus I'm going to start working in the garden. So she knows how to run this thing. So I'll just let her run it. Okay. So Jess is going to she's going to hook up the unit. And I want to get it going, but the first thing I want to show you about the unit is what I do on the mats. Before we do run any material in here, on all mats you're going to see something called tension bubbles. See these tension bubbles? And all you do is just take your hand and just wipe out all the tension bubbles, and that's pretty much it. And so your tension bubbles have now gone away. Now, when this unit runs, you'll notice, see how turbulent this is? And again, the water is going back under itself, so there's no way that gold can float out of here. So she's just going to take her little scoop there.
How did we end up here in the corner, looking like enemies? We used to be the team people talk about, what a chemistry. I can see it in your eyes. You don't wanna talk anymore. I wanna get so numb while we enemies. No, you don't mind the way I stutter my words. You know exactly what it means and how it hurts. Oh, I can't believe you're here. Can't get any worse. No. I just wanna get out of here. I find it so hard to breathe. 'Cause when you get too close, I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew what power you have over me.
So let me show you what I'm talking about. There's a lot of gold. You guys, stop what you're doing for a minute. Now come over here and look up under the box. Look way up under there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Isn't that crazy? But you can't see it because she's been up there looking, but look up under there. Look up under here. So there we have it. So one of the things we can do is when you start to screen down, you'll start to notice that you'll have pure gold up here, and so you can actually clean section by section and you'll have less and less black sand. But this is actually running perfect. Again, I should have gold all the way down here because what am I doing? I'm creating an environment where nothing can stay in here. Nothing can stay. And then I tweak it down just a little bit, and what's going to stay? If nothing can stay, the heaviest stuff is going to stay. So the heaviest stuff is gold. 19, its specific gravity is 19 times heavier than water. The black sand is about a 5, but because of the hydraulic equivalence we talked about, it still wants to stay in there. So again, my goal is not to have a high capture rate. My goal is to have a high stripping rate. You can see, this is kind of cool here too, Jess. So can you see the lead shot?
Yeah.
So that's lead shot that's bouncing around in here. That is really cool to watch right there. That's lead shot, there's lead shot here, there's lead shot here. As you remember, I talked about earlier on hydraulic equivalence and settling velocity, round things will settle quicker, the aluminum foil. Round things will settle quicker than flat things. So you may have a piece of round lead shot way up here in your sluice, and you may have a big flat flake of gold down here because it has a higher hydraulic profile and will flip down and flip down. I can see a line of gold coming out of the bucket. And unhook that battery. The battery is unhooked. Gently take this off, and I'm going to set this into the water. So this is what we're looking at right now. So you can see I actually have gold starting up here, right on this turn of the mat. So the UR comes in here and it turns, and you can see the gold lines start up in here. Matter of fact, you can even look at the gold in here. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Way up there where you were actually feeding it. Then we're coming down and we're seeing pure gold, pure gold. Now you're here witnessing this. Do you see any other dirt or black sand in there?
No.
Okay, so this is the portion that if you want to put this portion maybe down to, say, where does it start? I start to see a little black sand like right in here maybe.
Yeah.
But not much. So I was just telling Jess, and I forgot to push record. One thing that I do is I actually do something called concreting of the mats. And what is that? I'll just take this sluice that's going to have water inside of it. I'm going to tip it over on its side like this, and all the water is going to come over here and down, and I can lift it up, and I'll get all that water out of the mat. So what does it look like after I do that? Having a lot of water in my sluice, now I have almost pure gold in here. And that is just gorgeous looking. So I've got everything. I've got probably 200 mesh gold up to, there's one nugger. Look at that baby. Whew. Gosh, that's pretty. Most of this gold in here came from our dredging ops in Georgia. Some of the super fine gold, because Georgia doesn't have a lot of super fine gold, is actually, there's a little bit from Washington State beach sands, and then there's a little bit from Alaska and a little bit from Canada. So it's all kind of mixed, because we were doing some testing on the Piglet Flare, and then we had some actual dredge concentrates too. So it comes from all over. So all I've done is I've taken my mat and I've just gone through the water like this and just basically rolled it into my pan. and I have not even cleaned it out, and we can still see gold, all fine gold, all in this mat. But what I want to do is show you. I have taken a gallon of concentrates and reduced it down to about 2 tablespoons. So now all I'm going to do is pan it. I really need some jet dry. Let me go see if I can find it. Okay, so I couldn't find any jet dry, but I'm just going to use a drop or two of Dawn. And boom, surface tension just goes away. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly just pan the top off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it for you. So we never swirl our gold pans. We always tap. So I'm just going to tap, and all of my gold is going to want to come over to this side when I do this. And that is such a cool picture right there. Look at that. So I've got all kinds of lead shot in here. I've got all kinds of gold, and there is a crap load of fine gold in here, because I want to show you this fine stuff here. This is what I really want you to see. That is just so too cool right there. Pretty shocking, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like that's a lot of gold.
Well, here's the funny thing. Bank of America recently called for gold to go to $3,200 an ounce. And we will probably see, not in 2021, in 2022 we'll probably see gold break the $2,000 mark. And in 2023, you'll see gold hit probably roughly $3,000 an ounce. So I've got close to 2.5, 3 ounces in here. That's about 6,000 right now at $2,000 an ounce roughly. You know, we're talking $4,000 worth of gold sitting right here. So
It's a lot of money to be holding.
but look at this. I want you to see just how fine. Let me zoom in. I want you to see just how fine this is. Now that is pretty cool there. So what we would do now is, all I would do is I would just take this and watch the gold move. Wherever you tap, the gold is going to follow. So you can see I'm forming a line here, and it's solid gold. So now I would just take my sucker bottle and just go through here, suck out that gold line, then come back through and do that, repeat that same process. So all I'm going to do is just time and time again, it's so easy, is so it's all back into one again. All I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to tap. Is at the top, you'll get this gold line right here. You'll have that gold solid line, and then you can just take your sucker bottle and do it. It's that quick and that easy. We finished cleaning this out, and the last thing I want to do is, that's it for the gold prospecting today. I actually got to go over to the tomato garden and do a tomato harvest and get these things tied up, because I'm getting ready to go on a trip. I'll be gone for about a week or two, and she's going to come over and take care of them actually while I'm gone. So tomato time. So anyways, Jess is going to work the garden. I just poked my eye out with a tomato leaf. She's going to work the garden over here. I'll probably go over here. Basically what we're doing on today is we're taking out any fungus, yellow fungus leaves, and we're harvesting. We did a huge harvest the past 2 days, but there were a few more in here, so we're going to grab them while we're here. You can see how tall these things are. Look at this. So these are 8-foot stakes, and they're starting to break 8-foot stakes already. It's crazy. It's right here. That is a gorgeous tomato right there. Turn it over. It's so pretty. We got to take these a little bit younger. You know, otherwise the tomato bugs will come in here and get them. But crazy this place is. Now I will tell you, Jess, these right here I tied up yesterday. See these vines? They were hanging way down, and I put another rope, and we're already breaking the 8-foot stake on these.
Strong vine.
Yeah, they are. Their vines are really strong. And then I'm assuming these guys maybe need another. I don't know. Look at that.
That's pretty red.
Okay, go ahead and cut that. Get that. Turn it over there. Let's see how that looks. Man, talk about a mater sandwich.
It fits the whole bread.
It covers the whole. You take hamburgers and it'll cover the one slice. Will cover the whole hamburger. That's a beautiful looking mater there. That's a good looking mater. So we still have a few more to harvest out here, but what does that weigh?
I don't know,
10
but
pounds?
I wasn't prepared to lift weights today.
So we got probably about 10 pounds of tomatoes. She's going to spend about another hour in here just doing nothing but working on any fungus leaves. If we have to tie something up, we'll tie something up. And then I'm going to take that gold inside and I'll work it down. And that's about it. Hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you later. Dot.